So wonderful to have you here at one of my favorite places in West Hartford, and it is this very creative space, Gastro Park, and we are going to hear from the owner in a moment. But I just want to tell you that it is the second full day of spring, and we are feeling really bright about being outside and being able to enjoy some great food and support local businesses. So we're going to start with, again, the owner of Gastro Park, and that is Tate Norton.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much. We're very excited to be hosting you all here today. Gastro Park was started as a dream back in 2017 as a way to try and help empower small businesses and a way to help small businesses get their foot in the door and launch a business that is fiscally attainable. So we're very excited to be able to see something happening that's going to further empower food trucks, who obviously rely on their livelihood to use gas, to move around, to make money. And that's going to be right in line with the Gastro Park's mission in terms of empowering small businesses who own their businesses locally and operate them here locally and need to be able to move around to make a livable income. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tate. And Jessica, who is also here, Taberski, is a co-owner, supporter with Tate. And I forgot to mention, I'm Mayor Sherry Cantor, again, proud to be have business owners like Tate who have committed so much, especially during the pandemic and all that they have to do. And now they're facing another challenge with rising prices, inflation, gas tax rising. So this is a really important initiative. We're going to hear from another small business owner. We're going to hear from Kevin Massey right now, who actually got me through the pandemic with his incredible sourdough bread. But Kevin is an artisan, and thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. My name is Kevin Massey, and I own Small State Provisions here in West Hartford, Connecticut, located inside the Gastro Park. As Mayor Cantor mentioned, I started my business just before the pandemic, and operating it out of my house, I relied 100% on delivery. So we delivered to homes all over the area, and we still do deliver bread here in West Hartford. So I'm always thinking about gas prices in terms of our deliveries, in terms of trucks bringing in supplies for us. Our prices have gone up because of the gas surcharge, and my employees getting here. So I think gas impacts all of us, and I'm just excited that this is going to be hopefully happening. So thank you for having us.
Thank you, Kevin. And honestly, if you haven't tasted his work, you need to come and try it for sure. And then we have another artisan and a food truck owner, Eric Stagel. The governor and I enjoyed a fabulous sandwich, creative sandwich by Eric. And please come up and share a few words. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. My name's Eric Stagel. I own Crapbird Food Truck. I actually have 2 food trucks. And yes, lately it's been tough filling the tanks with gas prices. So, you know, any little bit helps. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. So real business owners that are really feeling the pinch of what is going on. And now the leader of our state and someone that is in tune with small businesses and really supportive of small businesses and listening to their challenges, Governor Lamont.
All right. Well, thanks, Sherry. And you got to try out Gastro Park. This is amazing. I'll tell you what I love about it, Tate, is, you know, yesterday we were at an incubator in New London, where a lot of entrepreneurs starting up businesses, often tech and social media, have a chance to compare notes and grow businesses. This is like an incubator for food. And Kevin's got it, and the food trucks do the same thing in terms of being incredible entrepreneurs, give people a chance to experiment and try new things. And here you can get each and every one of the different varieties right here at the Gastro Park. It's just remarkable. And as you heard, a lot of costs are going up, and inflation is heavy. And if you've got a food truck, think about what the price of gasoline, up over $1 just over the last, few months. What that means if you're doing, 500 miles a week or plus, and what that is. So what we're trying to do with these tax cuts is do everything we can to provide a little bit of relief to people, at least a bridge until we get to July 1 when we have more significant tax cuts. So I think as we speak, just about the legislature is voting, starting with the House, on a 25-cent cut in the gasoline tax between now and July 1. I hope that passes. I think it's going to make an extraordinary difference. And then starting after July 1, we're doing everything we can, talking to Sherry quite a bit, you know, with things happening with the mill rates and the reval, especially folks on fixed incomes. If we can give people $100 to $300 tax credit on their property tax, that makes an enormous difference. If we can save that same guy with a car, you know, $300 on their car tax, that makes an enormous difference. If we can have that person on fixed income, maybe they got a pension, maybe they got 401k, make that tax-free, income tax-free, that makes an enormous difference. And these are the little things we're trying to do to make Connecticut just a little more affordable, a little easier for you to stay in the state of Connecticut. And Tate, I'll give you one other idea. Anybody that graduates from a Connecticut school and you work and they take a job with you, you work to forgive their student loan, we'll pay for half of it. We'll pay for up to $5,000 a year with a tax credit. You know, I want the very best young people in Connecticut to stay in Connecticut, and they know that if they get hired by a Connecticut company, they get their loan forgiven over a period of time. So these are all just the things we're trying to do to make life a little easier during what's pretty complicated times, especially brought on by inflation. Thanks, everybody.
Governor, if this passes the House and the Senate, how long will it take for you to sign it?
About 10 minutes. I think we'll try and sign it really quickly. We're working with the gas station owners because they've got a fair amount of gasoline, you know, underground that they've already paid for. So we want to make sure that gets out before, you know, they have to put in the 25-cent cut. But I think that'll be within a week.
Do you think there should have been more? I know Republicans say that they were pushing for more. Would have been more substantial to offer bigger tax breaks for gas?
Well, two things. I mean, one, remember the House and Senate Republican leaders came forward with a proposal very similar to what we've now done on a bipartisan basis. So let's start with what we all agreed on just a few days ago. It makes a big difference. And just remember, I also have a transportation fund. That transportation fund was bankrupt 3 years ago. Now we've got a surplus in there. We need that surplus, but we can afford to spend about $100 million to give people a gas tax break now.
Do you think at some point we're going to have to rein it in? I think they're projecting deficits a year or two. So at some point, you know, some of these things will have to go away.
You talking about transportation fund or more broadly?
More broadly.
Yeah, I just asked the legislature to be very careful. We're doing pretty well right now. We do have surpluses. We are paying down, our pension debt. That's a big deal. There's a certain tendency to say, let's cut even more, let's spend even more. We'll worry about tomorrow. And that's a mistake I think our state has made for many years. We put in place about $350 million of tax cuts. That's something we can afford. We can afford to do that on a consistent basis for the foreseeable future. You know, that plus the rainy day fund, I think, Sherry, you should have some confidence that the car tax cut will be permanent.
That was going to be my question about the cap of the mill rate for the automobiles. Where do you think that proposal stands?
I think it stands pretty good. I've gotten more positive feedback for the 2/3 of the towns that'll see a real cut in their car tax. Car tax is terribly unfair. Some towns pay 3 times more for the same car as it would be in another place. So I think this is something we're going to make permanent.
Governor, diesel tax was not included in this tax package today. Is that a concern for you? These gentlemen say that their trucks run on gas, but not every truck runs on gas. A lot run on diesel. Is that a concern?
Well, two things. I mean, one, diesel tax is, predominantly paid by a lot of truckers, most of which are out-of-staters going right through the state. So I prefer to give a tax cut and a gas tax cut to Connecticut people, Connecticut cars, Connecticut taxpayers. And look, I'd love to cut everybody's taxes in half, but we still have to, pay our bills, starting the transportation fund.
What about the small business owner who does use diesel? Construction guys, trades guys, they're not going to see any windfall.
Well, we're going to see a lot of tax cuts coming in place, like I said, starting on July 1. I think that's going to be helpful. We'll sit down and talk to the small business as well in terms of other things we should do. I mean, right here, Tate, you know, in the brewery, we, reduced the excise tax. That's going on about a year and a half. Trying to make it easier, Jody, for small businesses to step up despite some headwinds.
Of course, this helps people, drivers moving forward. Is there anything that can be done to help the hit that's already been felt over the past couple of weeks at the pump?
I think we'll be probably the second state in the country to offer almost immediate gas tax relief. That's a good start.
And some delicious sourdough bread would make us all very happy.
Yeah.
You should taste the vegan cookies.
Any questions for Sherry Cantor? Anything at all? Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.